No, 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 no. Oh, yeah. I'm in chains, you're in chains too. Our uniforms and you are uniforms too. I'm a prisoner, you're a prisoner too, Mr. Jailer. Oh, I have fears, you have fears too. I'll die, but you self will die too. Life is beautiful, don't you think so too, Mr. Jailer? I'm talking to you, Jailer. Stop calling me a prisoner. Right here, if we thousand be the first to cast a stone, Mr. Jailer.
The jailer is also a prisoner.
Yes.
His own jail. Yes.
You haven't heard this song before.
No.
You haven't.
No.
It's sung by a Nigerian based in the US, and I'd heard this song several times, but it didn't really mean much to me until there was a time I went to an event with Tom when he was in Ghana. And at that reception, they sang this song. We were together and we couldn't really dance to the tune, but we were shaking our heads. And both of us really, really, really liked the atmosphere and the song. So Ton asked me to ensure that I get him a copy of that song so that he would play at home. Because we had this interesting relationship of exchanging gifts. But the reason why this song had really stayed with me is the fact that I never had the opportunity of giving him that song. And so anytime I hear the song, it brings back memory of Tom. And what I've done is to download it. It's on my phone. And when I'm in the office and I see things that remind me of Tom, I play the song. The weeks of his passing, when I played the song at home, I cried. But subsequently, I've decided I'm not going to cry. I'm going to let the good memories of Tom urge me on.
In 2009.
In 2009, remember?
The week of 12th December.
Yes.
Yes. Invocacy. Couldn't understand half of what he was saying.
Oh my goodness.
I just couldn't. I said, what exactly am I doing here? And he went on and on and on. Because he had written the proposal with Harold and Patrick. So they knew every word in the project document. And they were using a language I'd never heard before. And when we complained, he looked at us and then passed his hand through his hair, and I think he's wondering, how come these people are not getting this issue? These issues, you know? And then he took that step back and said, we need to come on board. What is it that you don't understand? Can we unpack the terminologies? What kind of help do you need? And because our concern, as you remember, was how do we take this back to government?
And contextualize it.
And contextualize it. But I think his level of patience Because for almost 4 to 6 months, we were not there. Principles framework. Pillars. Hey, you can call it triple S, you can call it SSS, you can call it
whatever.
But 4 to 6 months, he walked with us. Because I think for him, he knew that if we don't get it, if we don't feel that we own it, then it's not going to work.
He was also very much particular in preparing us to take the information to the field, because you know how it was dear to Tom's heart to work with governments. So we became the bridge of taking the Triple S message to governments and working along with our government.
And the level of respect for our government people. I mean, Tom would come to Kampala and we would go to the Ministry of Water and Environment, and he would even ask, do you think my jacket will do? Because government people in our countries dress up. And he had a jacket, a brown jacket that had, what do they call them?
Soda.
Yes, here. Which got lost. He left it in a hotel in Kampala.
Is it not the cordon jacket?
That one. And he asked me whether first the color is okay. And I openly said it's not okay.
Oh my goodness.
Because government people, it's either black or gray. And you're coming in with brown, and not even brown smooth, brown corduroy. But that was Tom.
We also had a similar relationship. Whenever he's in Ghana, he will first ensure that we've gone to the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, and we'll go and say hello to the chief executive. But then he will follow me to every single office. And
he would make sure that he's following you.
Yes.
And say, what exactly are we going to do? How you signal me to come in when you need me to say something. He would not. He was comfortable just taking the back seat
and
enabling you to be the lead. You know?
And one thing I like about him was that he will prepare you. He will support you before we go for those meetings. He will ask, right, are there issues that we have to raise with them? Which ones would you be very comfortable to lead in the discussions? And if there are more difficult ones, let's look at how we'll handle it. And I will deal with it with my gray hair. So, you know, in the area where you come from, gray hair is seen as maturity,
wisdom, knowledge.
So always when we have the big issues, then I'll say, these big issues are for the gray hair man. These issues I'll handle. And so when we are in the meetings at CWSA, we know how to change the batons and how to bring the issues and bring in balance.
It's not that we never used to argue. We used to argue.
Yes.
Yes.
We had our differences sometimes. And I remember the last time I went back to my email, and then I was trying to go back to the number of emails that Tom sent to me, which had the title, I am worried.
Oh, this is important.
Yes. So whenever I see an email from, and he can send that I am worried email at any odd time. It can be 12 o'clock in the night. Whenever I receive those emails, I open the email, and no matter the time, I open it on my phone, and I said, what could be bothering Tom? So quickly I respond back on my phone, and I say, I have seen your emails. I have read them. Stop worrying about them. We'll handle them tomorrow. So I call back, and then we'll pick the issues one after the other, and we'll discuss. And he said, Vida, you know what? On the Netherlands side, all the issues in the team come to me. And then on the Ghana side, all the issues in the Ghana team come to you. And it will take the two of us to ensure that connection between the Ghana team and the Netherlands team. The last email that I received from Tom wasn't, I am worried. He sent me the email when I was on admission at the hospital, because we scheduled to speak the day before going on admission, and we couldn't talk. But the email was full of encouragements. He encouraged me not to think about work whilst on sick leave, and that even if he's in the Netherlands, he will ensure that he provides that oversight. He told me it was going to be well, and as soon as I am back, I should call him. I really liked the encouragement in his mail, and for me, it supported my healing. For me, my reference point of how to take the legacy of Tom ahead is those emails. I never knew those emails were going to be his documentation of what I need to do in his absence.
Where I come from,
Yes.
we bury people immediately. You die today, tomorrow you're buried. If you're very unlucky, even that same day.
Okay.
So for me, I think that whole week when Ton was lying in state was a very difficult week for me. Because one, I didn't even know how to coordinate myself. I didn't know how to coordinate my colleagues, and also because we were very far. But we held a Catholic mass at the office, and this priest, who didn't even have the opportunity to meet Ton, by just looking at Ton's photo, which we flashed on the wall, was able to say that God works in mysterious ways, and is also good at picking good people, because good people are needed everywhere. And that basically reminded me of the last communication I had with Ton, which was on a Friday, and Ton died on Sunday. And we were talking about the USAID, Uganda Sanitation Program proposal.
I remember that proposal.
And we had argued terribly about that proposal. And he had told me, I hear you, I can see your issues, but USAID works differently. And through the Skype chat, we went through a number of things. And I looked at the Skype chat actually this morning, and we had agreed to talk on Monday. And then Monday we didn't talk.
In Ghana, we keep the cups for a long time, go through a very long preparation. And so when Patrick called me that morning to inform me, because I was at home and knew I might not read my mail, and also thought that I would be alone in the house and to read such a message. So when he called me in the morning at home, I must say it was a very difficult message to receive. I couldn't speak with Patrick again. I was very worried because I wanted to be part of the whole process of the barrier, the funeral, and my condition was such that I couldn't come to the Netherlands immediately. I was always on the net, going to where they set up the information on Ton, and that week I can't remember how much I spent on renewing the credit on my phone. Because I was using my phone to Google, and then I'll go and read, and then I was asked that they should go and buy, and I was reading the same messages over and over and over again. I called the people in CWSA, and they were all very, very worried. Actually, when I told them of the funeral arrangement, and they said, this thing is coming too fast. How can we participate in the funeral? So Patrick was in Ghana. When I resumed work, he came to Ghana. And then we went to CWSA, so they invited all the staff, and we had our own small remembrance of Tom. I was overwhelmed by the calls I received at home. And my husband said, Vida.
And also from people you
yes,
don't...
People were calling.
Because we sent out an announcement through our network, the Civil Society Network. It goes to over 250 organizations, to government, and we got messages. People knew Ton. When we had the service at the office, people who are in the same building where our office are, they closed their offices and came for the service.
For Ghana, I thought it was going to be a funeral for IRC. It was a sector funeral.
Yes. In terms of grooming, mentoring, and coaching leaders, I think that is for me something that should really continue. This business of taking back seats, it was for me giving you the space to shine, to take the lead, to be in charge. You're in control. You make the mistakes, you learn, you do it better, you know. But he had that in him, giving that space, giving the opportunity for people to shine, for people to grow, for people to make mistakes. And I think that is something that in IRC we need to promote, but also a challenge for us as leaders in IRC. When we look at the people that we work with, the young team, the young people that we work with, whether in our capital cities or in the field offices where we are we giving people the space to actually be who they are and to enjoy their work? My second one, Ton loved documenting, because he would say, so then where is the evidence? Nothing written, no video, no audio. You said the moment was great. Did you capture that moment?
I remember when we started Triple S, and we had all those long presentations, PowerPoint presentations. And I never knew that the film that Ton used to show, What If, had really stayed with most people. And when Ton passed, most people associated him with that
What
film.
If?
I said, is that not the man who came to show the what film, what if film, where you have a number of facilities coming together when he was trying to describe coordination in simple terms? That shows the power of film, that all the many things that we talked about, that was what people remembered most in terms of how he helped to introduce Triple S to the sector.
For Ton, it wasn't just documentation for the sake of it.
No.
He had a way of enabling us to understand. You document, that is evidence, but you need to do good monitoring. He would look at the indicators and he would really get upset if the indicators were not smart. It's like, what exactly are you going to monitor? How are you going to collect information? And then you want to turn this into good documentation. How will it work? He had run a good race and he finished his race.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that the race has ended.
No.
So we still have to take the baton. He passed on the baton to us because he ran his race, and it was a good race. I think for me that's the most important word there. How we ran with the baton that he handed over to us and make sure that his lamp is still, he might have passed, he did pass fine, but the light, his light should continue shining. We don't have, we can't switch off Ton's light. He lit the lamp, he passed on the baton, he ran a good race. We have to continue with that race. It's a marathon that is not ending. And so how we deliver on the things that he passionately built and thought about and was concerned about and was happy about are the things that we have to fall back to. And for us in the countries, the onus is on us to package them in the way we want. The Ugandan way, the Ghanaian way, the Burkina Faso way.
We carry on from one generation
To another.
through naming. So if you are a bad ancestor,
Nobody
one
will
will
name
name
the
the
kid.
child after you.
No.
And so you are named after someone with the belief that you emulate the person's good
Yes.
deeds, and you carry
And the
his
flame
good deeds,
continues to
and the flame
burn.
continues. Many people that he has grown that will carry on the good deeds. Many good works that he has started, and those footprints would continue. Probably the size of the shoes may not be as big as Ton's, but if his were single footprints, we are going to spread it by many more footprints. And the impact collectively will be bigger. He's created so many little names. We're going to name a lot of things after Ton as a way of keeping the good deeds forward.
Because the good deeds must remain alive. And it is us to make sure we water them, we nurture them, we mentor them, we coach them, we innovate them, we document them.
I think we have to create another project for Tom. We call it the Tom's Project. And we have to have a work plan,
Principles framework.
principle framework. We need to make sure that the
Outcomes planning.
the framework for monitoring is there, so we don't forget all the little details. Then we get the report, and then ensure that they are well documented, and then we have another film on the legacies of Tom.
You see.